Hey peeps, welcome back to Ashley's Think Tank. Me, Ashley. Today I'm just on the morning walk, so wanted to do a little more of a reflection today. I've had like a quote unquote week, I think most likely like 6 days having this channel and uploaded a couple things. Equally, I'm pretty sure I recorded 2 videos here and they didn't have audio. So that's one. But again, part of the reflection that I'm having this week. So to start, I would say it's been pretty nice, I guess. It's like the first few days were like anxiety inducing. Like, no offense, like being your own director or adult is like, I have free will, but weird. Don't give me that. But so just like, again, being able to like have time to just go on a walk. No one is stopping me. Like, no one is like holding a gun to my head and saying you can't do that. And it's nice. Like, I got to go on a walk yesterday for 2 hours. Like, I'm almost this close to like holding a freaking butterfly. They'll come. But mainly just like, again, just more reflecting on like the past, like past versus now, especially with like seeing how like I've emotionally been doing. That's been, I think, the most important bit of all of this is like checking on my emotions, making sure that like, how do I say it, that I'm okay. Am I doing something that makes me happy, or is this just like still rotting? I guess I don't, dude, the playing field is so even on that. But yeah, so that being said, reflections, mainly family, or like mainly of the self. And I found that like the only person who was keeping me in a cage was me. Shaking my head, like dangling it in front of my face, like shaking my head genuinely. So like I was reading a lot of my old journals. Like, I read one from like 2020 and I read one from earlier this year. And I was like, oh, that's not good, girl. Essentially I was writing about how unhappy I felt. Like, why weren't things changing, or like things weren't coming to me, or like, or feeling unlikable, feeling really honestly depressed. That's a lot of what it was just me being angry, partially teenager, and then depressive. So that was my reflection. And even like the last like just this year, I've made a lot of like positive growth, or like being more confident, being more like headstrong, being assertive, knowing that like, damn, I'm really that bitch. And then equally at the same time, it's kind of like, am I that bitch? Like why does life keep happening to me, you know? And then it's like, the only reason life is happening to you is because you're doing it, babe. Like, no one is forcing you, you know? Like, certain family stuff or family issues, yes, they cause a lot of stress for me, and that expectation is a lot of what I felt. But how do I say it? But it was like me just, again, just like flipping the table, and like the almost like, I wouldn't call it a crash out, because that's not me anymore, if that makes sense. I'm reformed. But actually, that is something I would like to talk about. I realized that like a lot of my like certain periods were just me letting the crash out drive. And my crashing out isn't like, oh, I'm murdering someone, or I don't know, robbing or scamming, I don't know. It's more like, oh, someone has been stealing my energy. Someone is like being my biggest hater. Someone is like legit actually not trying to treat the world good. Like, we morally don't align, and your morals are now actually physically and mentally impacting me. So however I reacted, no, nothing physical actually, ironically enough, but however I reacted or what I said was probably the truth. Maybe could have been said sooner, and that's also equally a reflection of me of like, there are certain points in my life, it's like, why did it get this far before I changed something? Or change my attitude, change the mindset, change like, hey, it's not me who needs to change sometimes. It is like the change needs to come from dropping them. The change needs to come from me not having it. And I was just like, yeah, potentially. And not having any, I guess, like, responsibility past taking care of this has honestly shown me that. It, like, again, it still feels new. I'll go into a video, which I'm actually planning later. I have like a whole board of like my ideas, the thought process I was having written, like I wrote out a script. And so like that creative process felt really good. Like not needing the outside validation to say like, hey, this is the idea that I want to make. However it comes out is how it comes out, and I'm gonna do it. So I had a couple ideas, like, again, my origin of, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? You're being so vague. And at the same time, it's kind of like I'm figuring things out for one. Two, the whole point of this channel is to build community, and if I'm not being authentic, if I am not like morally growing, educating myself, or like putting light out into the world, then what am I really doing than just talking to a camera? Which I would do anyway. This is free therapy, personally, and you can't take that away from me regardless. But what is the purpose of me starting this channel? And it's for community. If I get paid and get like some sort of recognition, then sure, I guess. But I realize that, like, again, no offense to the people in the ether or whoever is watching, I'm sure you're great. I care about you as a person on a human level, but then equally, why the fuck would I give a fuck? Like, that is the easiest way to describe it, of like my entire life, of like, yes, we have certain expectations, like the societal expectations, family expectations, all of it weighs down. And then at the same time, it's kind of like, no offense, like, who are you? Like you're just a person too. Like, you have and have made the same mistakes, or are going to make the same mistakes that I have, and you're gonna berate me for it? Well, actually, I'm gonna berate again. Storage full, which is kind of the whole theme of life, is the storage for the person that I was, and those reflections made me, or filled my capacity. And now I, again, need to restart, reset, and make something new. Like, there is so, like, why am I capping my potential? So, that's it, and people are coming, so have a great one.